We then go to the capture data pages, and you'll see that there's a drop down with the 7, under the old codes you have the 7 elements, BE elements, and you can choose. Let's say we start with ownership. You can either click it on the drop down, or you'll see on top here you can jump to any of the elements at any time on top here. So this is where you would capture ownership, and you have individual shareholders of the measured entity and institutional shareholders of the measured entity. As you capture these fields, it creates a little ownership tree on the left here for you. But if there are institutional shareholders, you would double click on that. It'll open up a similar page where once again you capture institutional and individual shareholders until you get to a stage where you're only left with one or more individual shareholders. Okay. We go back here. This is where you would put, if there are encumbered debt, you would put the date here on which the first BEE deal was done. If there are more complicated ownership structures involved, like shares held by state, mandated investments, equity instruments carrying preference rights, options, sale or loss of shares, or associated enterprises, any of those more complicated ownership structures, you would select that here, and it would open a specific capture field to calculate those scores accurately. So if there were, let's open all of them and you'll see what I mean. You would have very specific data required to be captured to work out the correct ownership scores. Then under all the elements, you'll see that it gives you a data summary area. So this is for informational purposes. It then gives you your scorecard. So this is the ownership scorecard with the weighting points, the targets, the actual result, the target adjustment if necessary, and then your scores with your total score. And at the very end, and you'll see this under all the elements, it gives you a score summary under all your BEE elements. So this is just the ownership scorecard, and there's the total ownership score, but it gives you under all the elements here, and it also gives you a total score. The ownership, Navigator is probably the most powerful tool when it comes to accurately calculating ownership. We then go to management, which is management control, and this is where you capture your management control data, data summary, management scorecard, and the total score summary is at the bottom. Employment equity, the same basically. This is where you capture your employees' details. You've got a data summary, scorecard at the bottom, and your scores. Skills development. This is where you capture those that have been trained details, training costs, pro rata salaries, etc. if they were learnerships. Some key measurement principles, say yes or no there, whether they comply with CETA requirements, Skills Development Act and so forth. It gives you a data summary, it gives you the element results at the bottom here, the skills scorecard, preferential procurement, this is where you capture the details from the compliance suppliers' BEE certificates, and of course the expenditure excluding VAT for the measurement here. Again, data summary where it splits it up for you between the different spend with the different types of suppliers, and you've got your scorecard and scores at the bottom. Enterprise development, as you perhaps know, there are various types of enterprise development, and you have to see what type you're dealing with, and then you select, you show to open up a data capture box. So in this case, we've selected grant contributions, loans, time cost, short payment periods, and for each of those, there's a data capture field that needs to be completed. For grants, for loans, time of employees, shorter payments, and if you're working under enterprise and socioeconomic development, you're working with the cumulative method, you would select here. This is where you would select your inception date. Again, data summary with your results at the bottom here. Socioeconomic development, similar, very similar. Different data capture pages or blocks. Choose your inception date, summary, and results. So what makes Navigator different to some similar products on the market is that it's not an Excel based product where manipulation is a possibility and where a lot of inputs by the user is still a possibility. It's a data capture. You capture the correct data in the fields, and the program works out the scores, and scores can't be manipulated in any way. So that was the data capture. That's obviously very important because that's where the scores are calculated. If you look here, there's a scorecard tab where it gives you, for this client, it gives you just a summary, and it works out the value adding supplier status automatically here. Under the new codes, that'll be the empowering supplier status, and it gives you your BEE level. You can also, this is a summary, you can also look at the detailed scorecard, which will look like this.